Welcome to the Weaver Stonehouse Greenhouse. Today we are going to rebuild our greenhouse. You're gonna watch this video today or a different day.
This is where we started. Once we came home to a family's farm that we bought after it was sold out of family, we started with a patch this big. Come on in here so you can hear me better. This patch is only 25 by 25, and I thought, yeah, this will work, didn't I, dear? We thought it'd be all right. So what did we have in here first, Mr.
Two sheep.
We had
three sheep.
We had 2 sheep in here first. 2 sheep. We had a couple sheep in here first. So 25 by 25 area, and then this is what we started off with. We started then with our chickens out in here too, and we've obviously outgrown it. So this is where the greenhouse is going to go. So my wife and my daughters worked on getting the T-posts out. Now we got to take the fence and we're going to roll it up so we can use it somewhere else. So I figured it was best to go ahead and clean the mud and dirt out of the old poles before we put them in our ground, make it easier to pound them in, which it did help. So I got the old DeWalt SDS Max drill out and the power washer, and we went to work. So we found profusely beating on the poles with the hand sledge while using the power washer introduced enough vibration to help get the mud and dirt out of the poles actually a whole lot easier. We're setting corners. So this is something my dad taught me years ago, Grandpa taught me years ago. And it was one of those, as a child, you see it, but it doesn't sink in. So we're gonna go ahead and try and set our corners for our greenhouse so everything is squared off so they go correctly across. So what I started here with, we pre-measured where we want it, and I decided this is the corner. Now, you can see it took many hands to get this done. I kept forgetting where my gloves were at, and I kept bringing gloves up. So, set this down here, and then use my square to start with, just get me ballpark close. And then when I tie a string on here, which we'll end up using baling twine, so I don't want the line to touch. I want it to be close, so that way I can re-square my measurements as needed. So, okay. Now we need to measure out to the other side and go ahead and try and get that one set. And then it's an adjustment of each one. So that's why when we put... Okay, over here was the 4th corner. We were having trouble finding it, so we got the other 3 set, and then I had all my little helpers hold a line here, and then hold the diagonal line that we wanted to maintain. It was tough, and then we utilized the square. You can see I'm moving around a little bit, but it's pretty close to being square. So that's how we did that on our corners. So you can see that line going up in that corner there, and we use baling twine. Okay, so as I have a hard time with math and angles, what we did is we put stakes every so often, and we went off of the line over there, going out through the orange line, and we measured equal distance out through. And then we double checked about every other one of them with an actual pole, with a cross or hoop roof, whatever you want to call it. So then we double checked it with that, which ended up moving my corner actually like 1.5 feet. And it moved my corner in 1.5 feet, which I'm okay with, but at least it's this way. We're good. Enjoy the time lapse of us setting this first side of posts down through. As you'll see in the video, in the pictures coming up, my post pounder took an absolute beating, and I had to weld the cap back on it. I had to weld the handle on it. And at the end of this video, we hit so much sandstone and rock, basically a foot down, I got the backhoe out. So we're really hard on our post pounder since we have a lot of stone. And it was hard to figure out where that sandstone outcropping came into play because it varied a little bit. And we're right on the edge of it. It's about 1.5 feet down is where it started most places. Some places 2 foot, other places we missed it altogether. And our post pounder really took a beating because of it. And where it was shallow, we ended up cementing right on top of the sandstone, and that'll work just fine.
We'll finish this off. So we're setting the top purlins in the greenhouse here. So 4-foot centers is what we had on the bottom, so we're going to do 4-foot centers down here. These are mostly on center, some of them aren't, so you got to watch. I'm using that as my guideline to hook my tape on. And then I'm looking for my old marks. That's up a little bit there. Okay, there's my old marks. On center. Yep, and I'm 4 foot right there. Going down there. So you see here we got the purlin braces up. And you need to keep for tomorrow morning. And you can see there, they're up and out across. Doing pretty good there. And then we got these out across as well. So the braces are there, they're looking good. We got our cross braces in here. We're sitting pretty level. Yeah. It's coming together. There's Dad. Wave, Dad. I thought it was coming together.